What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back to the channel. I'm Justin, otherwise known as Pokedubs from here on out. That's what we're going to title ourselves. Today on the channel, we are going to rip open a Scarlet and Violet. Wow, that lighting is really, really interesting. Scarlet and Violet booster box. As you've seen in the clickbaity thumbnail, I ask if it's worth it. Now, that can mean a couple different things. For me, personally, I view the worth as I like opening packs, so opening 36 packs of the same set is definitely worth it. So if pack opening is your thing, I think booster boxes are absolutely worth it. If you're trying to hunt for a certain card, that last secret rare that you need or something, it's definitely not the most efficient use of your money. It probably gets to a certain point where you might want to just buy the singles. But the hunt is part of the fun, honestly, so I can see that. And from a competitive side, I personally, like I said, like to open booster boxes and packs, so it's fun for me still as a competitor to do so. But if you're trying to build decks solely out of opening packs, again, probably not the best use of your money or your time. So it kind of just depends. I'm not one of the ones that likes to put like a dollar amount on the cards, like return on investment immediately out of the box. I don't think that's very realistic. I think it's fun to see what some of the cards that you pulled are worth, but I wouldn't base purchasing products solely on getting your money back or pulling the hot Charizard that's worth $1,000 or something like that, because that's just not realistic. It kind of takes the fun out of things, in my opinion. But with that said, let's jump into the box opening. In this one, I'm going to go a little faster just because we have 36 packs to open and I don't want to bore people with a super long video. And I also noticed in the last one, and I apologize in advance, this pack opening camera is kind of shaky. It's attached to my monitor stand, which is not the best thing to do, but it's the only solution I have for the time being. So if you do end up sticking around the channel, things are definitely going to get a lot better, I promise. They can only go up from here, right? Ideally. So we will see how that goes. Look at this. Everything is fun about 36 packs of Pokemon cards. We're going to jump right into that. So one thing that's worth noting, booster boxes, you are not going to find these at your major retailers like Target, Walmart, GameStop. You're going to find these either directly from Pokemon at the PokemonCenter.com or from your local card shop, which I highly recommend. It's very important in this community to keep the local card shops thriving. So buying a lot of your products from them is definitely worth your time. So find one that you really like. I have a local one that I play at, Zeke's Comics and Games in Washington. I play there, met a lot of great people, get all my stuff there. So I recommend you definitely do the same thing. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it. We're looking for... Here, let me move these off to the side there. There. Yeah, that works. Looking for a few cards to complete the set. I'll also keep doing like the set the competitively viable cards off to the side kind of thing, but I won't explain them too much. I don't want to bore too many people with that kind of stuff, especially since we have so many packs to open here. Get a lot of the cool and see if we can pull anything super hot. Like I said, I'm missing a lot of the alt arts and the special arts from this set. We got another Clef Key. As I said in the previous video, this one is very playable. Maybe not the greatest, but I think it's pretty good. 2 lock abilities. And there's the Annihilate, which I think is really cool. I will recognize this one for a second. I think that's a really cool evolution that they put in this set. Here, this is the playable pile. Here we got, you can't see that. Playable, foils, general cards, energies. I like to sort out my packs a little bit when I'm opening them. It makes it a little bit easier on you later, so that way you don't just have a giant pile of assorted cards. So we're going into this one. So if you followed from... Whoa, that's crazy. We got double the same card. That doesn't happen a whole lot. Okay, yeah, I was making sure the whole pack wasn't some sort of error. But yeah, if you followed from the last video, definitely let me know what kind of cards you're looking at getting. Ooh, as we jump into the, I think they're considering these special arts, the Toad School. That's pretty neat. I like to take a second to really appreciate these, mostly because these arts right here, they're not Pokemon Vs, they're not Pokemon EXs, they're just regular Pokemon cards, and the artists put a lot of time into making these look really cool, and I think they do just that. That's very cool. I personally consider these a hit, so we're going to put those, actually, the hits need to go maybe up there. We got Dondozo and another energy. I'm just getting all sorts of mixed up on my stuff here. All right, jumping into another one. But yeah, sorry to get sidetracked. If you followed from the last video, let me know if you're opening up Scarlet and Violet and if there's anything that you're looking to pull from the set. The set is pretty big in terms of other sets that have come in the past, and it can be a little overwhelming. That's another thing as far as like being efficient goes with pack opening. Master setting or completing the whole entire set of the cards is not usually the best approach. It's fun, it's really fun. But if you're trying to complete a master set, it is probably better to, at some point, end up buying the singles. Just because you can open up just too many packs trying to get that last card you're looking for. And we're gonna see how close I can get just from opening a few things on the channel here. I got this booster box, and then I actually have another video planned to show what the Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs are all about and why they're different than the ETBs that you'd get from your major retailers or your local card shops. I think that's kind of a valuable thing. A lot of people are usually asking what the difference is, and they finally made them distinguishable from the regular ETBs you get. And there's the first EX of the box. We got in the Magnezone EX. Now this one is pretty common. I think I've got maybe 3 of these, but these are just really cool. You can see that they've incorporated the sparkly foil in there. This one, actually, Magnezone is starting to see some play following Japan's results. It's being played in the Miraidon decks, the Miraidon EX decks. So that's kind of cool. A card we might be able to put to use in a deck is always nice. Or you can be like me, the last booster box that I opened, and I think I have 3 Spidops EX, which, I mean, it's a pretty cool card, but having 3 of them is not the greatest, especially when you're playing competitively and the card's not really that good. But that's okay. That's part of the game. We're gonna get doubles, maybe even triples. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I'm excited to be opening some Scarlet and Violet. I think the Gen 9 has been pretty refreshing so far. I really enjoyed the games. I know a lot of people weren't super happy with some of the quality aspects of the game, but I'm one that doesn't really get bothered by, like, if the graphics are a little worse than the last one. Ooh. And there we go with a full art Miriam. I actually need this one. So in my decks, I'm moving away from, I used to be a guy that would like to put maximum rarity cards in my decks. But as you would suspect, that can get pretty expensive, especially when you're adding things like items and tools and stuff that can rotate out easily. They don't really hold their value. While they look cool, it's not really reliable to do that. But now with this block just starting, like I could put Miriam in a deck here, and it's good for 2 to 3 years. So we might consider playing this one, but we also do need it for the binder to complete the master set. That is a very pretty card. Very, very pretty card. So now I've got the full art Miriam, and I do have the alternate, or the secret art. I'm not sure what they're actually classifying that as. And I do indeed have some penny sleeves here. And part of me wants to do the real Breaking Nate. But that's his gig, so we'll leave that to him. These are Dragon Shield sleeves that I'm using, by the way. Perfect fits. I like to use Dragon Shields for storing the cards, and most importantly, for competitive use. They're really durable, they last a long time, and they're just very smooth. Maybe one day we'll get a sponsorship or something, but you gotta be like good at the game for that, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if you plan on sticking around, we got some things in the works. Like I had said before, I'm a lifelong fan of Pokemon. I've been collecting Pokemon stuff for literally my entire life. I'm almost 32 now. Started when I was like 8, so I've acquired quite a few things over my span of going through Pokemon. And so I've got a lot of things that I think would make really cool giveaways. I really love, one of my favorite things about the Pokemon community is how kind most people are. I mean, sure, at tournaments and stuff, you might find a couple not so nice people. I mean, that's just going to happen anywhere you go, unfortunately. But the community with Pokemon, I've found, is just so open and welcoming. And I find it important to give back to the community. If I have cards that are particularly competitive, like if I have a bunch of Pokegear 3.0s, for example, which are very playable cards, kind of staples in a lot of decks, and people at like my local card shop need these cards, like I love being able to provide those. I don't usually look for anything in return because I think part of the fun is giving back to the community. So that being said, ooh, this box is kind of good. So this is actually nice because if you remember from the last video, I had said that I got the Alt Art Koraidon EX, except mine had a big print error and a giant roller mark down the middle. So this one looks a lot better, as you can see. That looks really cool. We got the Dedenne on the side there. And it looks like Koraidon is actually getting some play over in Japan a little bit. And it's kind of a direct counter to the Miraidon decks because lightning Pokemon are generally weak to fighting, in the TCG at least. So we'll see. We might end up playing this one, but I think this one's going to live in the binder. That one looks a little too good to not put in the collection, but we'll see. You never know. Can always take the cards out and put them in a deck. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, back to what I was saying before. If you plan on sticking around and hanging out with the channel, I plan on releasing quite a few videos regularly. Creating this community is something that I've always wanted to do, and I just never really did it. And so just kind of getting here is nice. And we got the character rare or secret alternative art Riolu. I actually really like this one. I do already have a couple of this one, so we'll see what happens with this. That's another thing I could do in the future, is if I pull a lot of cool looking doubles and stuff, which I generally acquire quite a few of, we can do some giveaways with that. What we're looking at right now is I actually have an old graded card from one of my collections that I would love to give away, because it just seems I've been looking for a purpose for the card. I don't really have anywhere to display this one in particular, and I've been trying to find something good to do with it. And then right after I made that first video, I thought right away that that's what we're gonna do. So stick around. I hope you enjoy the content. We're gonna keep probably doing mostly pack opening stuff. I'm gonna try to keep providing a little bit of like competitive insight onto things without getting too boring. So if there's other things you'd like to see, Switch, also a very, very competitively viable card. Glad this one got reprinted. A lot of us were kind of scared that this was going to get rotated out because it's sort of a staple. Being able to switch your Pokemon out of the active spot can be crucial. So that one's good. Yeah, I want to try to bring in some of the competitive aspect to these cards. but without being super overwhelming. I know a lot of people that watch pack openings and stuff aren't usually into the card game, or maybe they just don't know about it, and that's the target audience I'm trying to hit, is people that might not know much about it just because they're not exposed to it. Here we got Toxicroak EX. I like that sparkly foil to it is kind of neat. And sorry, the camera I've got for the card opening, the camera is coming off of my phone, but the lighting is kind of iffy, so we're gonna figure this out. But yeah, trying to find a happy mix. So let me know what you think is working so far, what's not, and we're gonna create something. But anyway, definitely leave a like on the videos if you do indeed like them. Be sure to subscribe, because I plan to release quite a bit of videos, and I think in the next one is when we're going to do the giveaway. And at the end of this box opening, I will actually show y'all what I've got as an idea. I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure what the criteria will be for me to choose a winner yet, but we'll determine that in the next video. But I will at least show you what it is that we've got. Here's another one, and I also like to go over the competitive side of some of the more like boring cards that people will see, like the items and the tools and trainers. So this one might look just kind of like a silly, useless card to a lot of people. This is actually a really good card. When you're playing competitively, you can use a supporter, so like Miriam, for example. You can use one of those per your turn, and once you use it, it goes in your discard pile, and you can't use it again. So Pal Pad is particularly good for stuff like that. If you want to keep recycling and reusing a supporter, Pal Pad allows you to shuffle up to 2 supporter cards from your discard pile into your deck. So that's pretty cool to be able to use that. So then you might not have to play as many supporters. You can just rely on hopefully using that Pal Pad to get them back into the deck. Beach Court, also a really good one, reducing retreat cost of basic Pokemon. That's always good. Like I said, getting out of that active spot sometimes is pretty important. So we kind of want things that reduce that cost or just switch it for you. We got these new researches. I don't know if a lot of you have played the games, but that's what these ones are based off of. Like I said before, I'm a huge sucker for the silver border. I think they look really good. They look super good in sleeves for competitive play, but these are really cool. This is also a huge staple. Professor's Research is a massive staple in the competitive trading card game. You get to discard your hand and draw a whole new hand of 7 cards, which is awesome. Seeing as many cards as you can without running out, because then you lose the game, is very important. So cards like this are highly sought after. So yeah, I like to try to provide some of the insight to why some people might actually care about the smaller cards, mostly because they're really good to play. Kind of like Nest Ball maybe might seem like a boring card for some, but it's like really good. So yeah, let me know what you would like to see. Actually, this is going to go in the competitive pile. More of, as far as maybe some competitive insight goes. Keep providing more of that with the pack openings. In good taste. Like I said, I don't want to drive people off by boring them with the competitive rules or anything, but if that's what people are here for, I'm all for it. Electric Generator, another really good card for those electric decks. Primeape. Quaquaval, however you want to say it. Not a giant fan of this evolution. It's kind of silly. I chose Quaxley in the game because I thought Quaxley was super adorable. And then, so I was also one that didn't look online to get the evolution spoiled for myself somehow. And once I saw it evolve into that, I wasn't as excited as I was for the Quaxley being the cute little duck that he is. Like I said in the previous video, I think Meowscarada is probably my favorite of the 3. I'm also a big fan of cats, so that might have some of the influence on that. I'm gonna start trying to pick this up a little bit. That's the one other thing about booster boxes is it takes a little bit of time to open up 36 packs. I'm not saying it's not fun. It's definitely fun. Actually, I think I got these all mixed up here. Yeah, this is the playable pile. We'll figure it out at some point. We're just trying to get into the swing of things. As long as it's somewhat organized, that's all we can ask for. All right, so this is the last pack of the left side of the booster box. Let's see if we get anything. We've already gotten a couple really good hits, honestly. And out of booster boxes, I think you can usually, it's impossible to say, put a number on how many you're going to actually get out of a box or out of an ETB or anything, but generally you can expect around 10 or so major pulls, and however you define that, from a booster box. I've seen some of these ones from Scarlet and Violet actually hitting some bigger numbers, which is pretty awesome. I think my first one I had 12 pulls out of, which was pretty good. I was very happy with that. This one so far we've got, I lost track of the number, but we've got a decent amount so far. Can't be mad about it. Ooh, yes, we got the Gardevoir EX. Gardevoir is actually one of my other favorite. I have a lot of favorite Pokemon. Gengar is all the way at the top, but Gardevoir is also another one of my favorite Pokemon. And this deck with the Gardevoir EX is actually going to be pretty playable. I think I had mentioned it in the last video, but this card is very cool. There's an alternate art or a special art Gardevoir EX that we're really hoping to get. It's very cool. But yeah, this one's pretty good. We're gonna take that, and hopefully in the future, I keep pulling a lot of these EXs and stuff to the side, saying that they're really good competitively. Thinking about maybe in the future taking some of the decks that I play or some deck lists from some of the other top competitors and kind of showcasing them on here and explaining how they work and why certain cards are good in them. That could be fun if people are interested in that. Maybe I could create a different playlist for that or something. But just trying to showcase as much knowledge as I have over this all this Pokemon stuff, because it's living rent-free in my head, and it has been for the last 20-some years. So if I can share it with people, that's probably the best thing. And that being said, sharing deck lists and stuff for the competitive decks. If you ever get into the trading card game, don't ever be scared to look up top players' deck lists. That's kind of a big question that a lot of people have. There's no shame in that. I use professional players' deck lists all the time. I actually don't think there's any deck that I'm playing right now that I've made like the entire list, because deck building is really hard. In Pokemon, you have to have 60 cards in each deck, and it can be very hard to make a deck just from scratch. But anyway, we got a full art Toxicroak EX. I do not have this one yet, so that'll be nice. I really, really like the full arts from this set. I think the background color, it pops really nicely. It's not like too annoying or discolored. I know some of the past full arts, the background just didn't really go well with the color of the Pokemon. I think these ones look pretty darn good. But yeah, back to deck building is very difficult, if I'm being honest. Whoa! There we go with a secret rare. We got the secret rare candy, which I had mentioned in the previous video, that lets you evolve a basic Pokemon up to a stage 2 Pokemon without that middle evolution. This is very cool. Rare candy is also another card that's been around for a really long time, so maybe playing it in a deck, even the secret rare, might not be so bad. That's very cool. I do have a lot of cool copies of Secret Rare, some older ones from former competitions and stuff that I already have in my decks. So that one will probably go in the binder, but that's very cool. I think that is the second Secret Rare I've pulled from this set. The other one was a Fighting Energy, and unfortunately that one also had a giant roller mark right down the middle. So hopefully you guys don't get any of those. Let me know in the comments if you happen to stumble upon any major print errors with this set. I know this is obviously the first set where the Pokemon Company International is incorporating these silver borders and the gray borders that the Japanese cards have had for a long time. Like I said before, I'm a huge fan of it. A lot of people don't like it, but I think they just look better than the yellow borders. But with that said, I think I don't know, maybe they were really excited about it, and some of the cards definitely got out of the door with some errors on them. It's always going to happen. I know Pokemon has a policy in place where you can file a claim, and I think you send the card into them and they'll replace it, which is kind of nice. I did hear that can take quite a while. Oh, we got a Gardevoir Gyarados. Sheesh. Gyarados EX, the regular one. That's pretty cool. I wish Gyarados was more playable. It seems like all the Gyarados cards are very expensive attacks. They're not that great. I am personally a big fan of Gyarados. I actually have him tattooed on my leg. But unfortunately, he's never very good in the trading card game, I should say. I should be clear about that. But yeah, again, if you get any of the big error cards, I know that there's a way you can file a claim with Pokemon, and they'll replace it. Again, it might take a really long time, but it's kind of understandable. I'm sure it happens quite a bit. They've got a lot of people contacting them, but at least they offer some sort of compensation for such cases. Because the last thing you want to do after you spend a bunch of money on a booster box is have, especially your secret rares. It seems like the secret rares were the ones that got messed up in this set. You don't want those to be bad. We got Koraidon EX, regular art. Got a few of these ones. I actually might end up building a Koraidon deck. Like I had said earlier in the video, that deck seems to be at least decently viable. We'll see. I've yet to test a lot of the stuff from Scarlet and Violet so far. With Scarlet and Violet, there came a huge rotation, and what rotation is mostly when new sets come out. Sometimes rotation happens once a year. Let's just say, where some of the older cards will just get shifted out of the format and you can't use them anymore. So that just happened, and we lost quite a few cards in that rotation. So I have yet to do some major testing with this new set, so we'll see. I'm mostly going on hearsay right now and kind of finding out what some of the results are from Japan tournaments, and then there's a big international championship this weekend in Europe. The Fido. I've actually really been looking forward to this one because I love this art. Little Fido looking in the window of the bakery. I think that's so cute. Again, this is not a super special card. It's not an EX or anything like that. It's just a regular Fido, but that art is immaculate. Definitely credit to the artists for making such a beautiful card. Cyclozar. This one. I've been looking for this one for a little bit. But yeah. So we're looking for some major results from this big tournament coming up in London is actually where it's at. We'll see kind of what decks come out on top of that. Get some ideas. But out of this set, we can get a general idea of what cards are good or like seem like they're going to be good. But usually iron that out a little later after the set comes out. See how it goes. We're down to the last few packs here. honestly, if we pull nothing else out of the rest of these packs, I would be perfectly fine with that, because this box has been pretty loaded. I'm definitely happy with it, and especially because a lot of these pulls are ones that I need for the set, which is pretty awesome. I think that was another idea I was having, is maybe in a future video I'll go over my Scarlet and Violet binder. When it's all done, show you what like a complete set binder looks like. I think that could be kind of cool, and we can kind of walk through it and talk about it a little bit. There are 2 playable cards right off the top, Professor's Research and a Nest Ball, so we're going to keep that. And right onto the last pack, we're going to see what this one holds. You may have noticed I pulled out my promotional Scarlet and Violet Tower over here, and I accidentally got 2 of the Miraidon plushies, maybe just to show that Miraidon's that much better than Koraidon. That's a hot take, but no, that was an accident. That was a silly accident, but I'm not mad about it. I love plushies, I love Pokemon, and Miraidon's pretty cool, so we're gonna keep it. A couple playable cards: Medicham, Waxwell, Reverse Switch, Reverse Hawlucha's playable, and what are we gonna end on? Is it gonna be one last hit? Let's see. Skeledirge. That's still pretty cool. Pretty cool Pokemon. Like I said, I'm not mad about it. We ended up with some pretty good cards out of this box. So we got the Fido, we got a Koraidon EX, we got a Gyarados EX, we got the beautiful Secret Rare Rare Candy. Say that 3 times fast. Toxicroak EX full art, which is pretty cool. The regular Gardevoir EX. We got Toxicroak EX. We got the special art Riolu, super adorable. The alternate art Koraidon EX, which is very cool. It's so refreshing to see this without a massive print line down the middle of it. And the Miriam full art, also a very good looking card. I think a lot of the full art supporters look very cool. The illustrations on them are just super nice. The Toadschool looks pretty sweet. I like the colors in that one. And just the regular Magnezone EX. So that's going to do it for a whole entire booster box. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you've been enjoying the videos so far. I do plan on making quite a bit and doing them regularly. So definitely stick around, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. Leave notifications on if you want. I'm personally not a notifications guy because they can be too much, but I'll definitely be posting videos regularly, maybe once, twice a week. Probably keep them to some of these pack opening things. But like I said before, I'm going to show you. This is nothing crazy, but in the giveaway is going to be a CGC graded 5.5. And now it's a really low grade because of the surface of the card is a little... I don't think it's bad, but apparently CGC did. As you can see, like the centering is 9.5. It's the surface that's 4.5. Corners are 9. Edges are 8. It is an Italian Raichu. I acquired this through getting a couple other cards in the past. The foil on it, as you can see, is absolutely gorgeous. I love these old vintage foils. And so this is going to be a vintage card that I am going to give away. I'm not sure what the criteria is going to be yet, but stick around and subscribe, and I'll go over that in the next video, and I'll tell you how you can enter to win this card. But in the meantime, stay tuned, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for your time watching. I appreciate you all.